Guys, can you remember? About a couple of months back, I reported on a story where there were some drug dealers and they were so rich. They were so rich that they were actually throwing money in the bin. Well, I've got an update on that story. Those of you that haven't seen the original video, I'll put it in the link in the description below so you can go and check it out.
Shaquille, what do we do with fivers? We just stash them in the bin.
The boss of a drugs conspiracy which flooded the streets of Nottingham with drugs and mainly targeted students has been jailed for 17 years. Jamil Amin played a leading role in the business, said the judge, as he jailed him at Nottingham Crown Court with his co-conspirators. The dealers were so busy they worked in shifts, and at the very least there were 4 drug line telephone numbers. In less than a year during the conspiracy, the drug lines between them received 50,000 calls and messages or voicemails. The group also operated via social media on WhatsApp and iMessenger. Prosecutor Jonathan Cox had described Jamil Amin as the boss, a career drug dealer, and said he was utterly unashamed in his course of work. Jamil Amin sought to pertain he was rehabilitated, hard-working, charitable and a family man, which was all done in an attempt to conceal his extensive and unwavering drug supply activities. Jamil Amin received 16 years for conspiracy to supply Class A drugs, 10 years concurrently for conspiracy to supply Class B, and 1 year consecutively for breaching a suspended prison sentence. 3 more men were sentenced on Monday, including Jamil Amin's brother, Shakil Amin. He was sentenced to 12 years and 9 months for the conspiracy to supply Class A and 8 years concurrently for conspiracy to supply Class B. Judge Nigel Godsmark QC said Shakil Amin sat alongside your brother at the head of the operation. Addressing the Amin brothers in the dock, the judge said the rewards were substantial, as shown by the quantities of cash that some members in the enterprise photographed on their mobile phones. There was no specific seizure of drugs which could be weighed, but the judge said we can get a feel for the scale of the operation after what was found in a storage garage: almost 10 kilos of a bulking agent and much smaller quantities of cocaine. The prosecution's point to some 50,000 incoming calls to the drugs line, added the judge. Cannabis was the best seller in this operation. Zain Mushtaq ran a drugs line and organised delivery. He received 7.5 years for conspiracy to supply Class A and 4 years and 2 months for the Class B conspiracy. Saad Issa was jailed for 9 years for conspiracy to supply Class A and 7 years for the Class B conspiracy. His total sentence was 9 years. Ben Jones received 7.5 years on the Class A conspiracy, and for the Class B conspiracy, the sentence was 4 years and 3 months. So a video of Shakil Amin and Zain Mushtaq was shown as part of the court case involving 9 people as part of the drugs conspiracy. They bragged that they had so much money they filmed themselves throwing fivers in the bin. Following a trial, 3 members of the group maintained not guilty pleas of conspiracy to supply Class A and B drugs. They were Jamil, Saad and Kieran, who was going to be sentenced later, and they were all found guilty by the jury. So guys, what do you think to that? A gang of drug dealers were so rich that they were throwing money in the bin have been jailed. Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.